there is a painting where the king is standing right in front of it, and yet he's nowhere in the room. But look closely enough, and you'll swear he's staring back at you. Because the moment you stand in front of it, you stop being the one who's watching. You become the one being watched. This is Las Meninas, painted in 1656 by a Spanish court painter named Diego Velázquez. And here's the strange part. This painting was never meant for you to see it. It hung inside a single room in the King's Alcazar Palace, a room historians call the summer office. Not a throne room, not a gallery, a private study where the king kept only the paintings he loved most, surrounded by mythological scenes, gods and cupids, painted by Italian masters. And in the middle of all that mythology hung this, a portrait of his own family staring back at him. An inventory of that same room, taken years later, lists 33 paintings inside it, along with writing desks and 7 mirrors. 7, in a room already built around reflection, a room few others ever entered. Look at the room Velázquez built for us. This wasn't a stage set. It was Velázquez's actual studio, inside the Alcazar itself. Once the private chambers of the king's own son, a prince who died at just 10 years old. The king kept a chair in that studio, just to sit and watch Velázquez paint. The canvas itself is nearly 10 feet tall, close to life-size, as if this room could swallow you whole. At the center, a 5-year-old girl, Margarita Teresa, the only surviving child of the King of Spain. She's dressed in the wide, bell-shaped skirt every Spanish courtwoman wore that century. A fashion so heavy, some women could barely sit down in it. Around her, maids of honor, a chaperone, 2 court dwarfs, a sleepy mastiff. On the left, the painter himself, brush raised, mid-stroke. Velázquez was in his 50s by now, near the end of his life, finally trusted enough to paint the royal family exactly as he saw them. He's working on a massive canvas, but we never see what's actually on it, only its back, stretched on a wooden frame, facing away from us forever. Velázquez painted the one thing in this room he could have shown you, and chose on purpose to hide it. Now push your eyes past all of them, to a small dark mirror on the back wall. Inside it, 2 faint blurred faces, the king, the queen. But neither of them is standing in the room. So where, exactly, are they? Here's the theory that changes everything about this painting. That mirror isn't decoration. Most historians believe it's reflecting the exact spot where you're standing. Velázquez positioned the king and queen right where the viewer stands, centuries later, which means every person who has ever looked at this painting has been standing, unknowingly, in the king's own footsteps. You're not observing this scene from outside it. You are, quite literally, part of it. And that's only the first secret this room is hiding. If paintings that hide secrets like this pull you in, this is exactly what we dig into, every single week. Now look at Velázquez's own chest in the painting. There's a small red cross painted over his dark clothing. It's the symbol of the Order of Santiago, one of the most exclusive knighthoods in Spain. Here's the problem. Velázquez wasn't a member of that order when he painted this scene. X-ray scans have confirmed it. That cross was never part of the original brushwork. It was added later, over a painting already finished. Legend says a king's hand may have added it himself after the painter's death, though historians still argue over whose hand it really was. What nobody disputes is that the cross itself, the visible proof of that honor, only reached the canvas after Velázquez was already gone. The two dwarfs beside the princess had names: Mari Barbola from Germany, Nicolas Pertusato from Italy. Court dwarfs like them held real positions inside the palace, paid a salary, given lodging, treated as members of the royal household. In most 17th century paintings, people like them were mocked, painted as jokes. Velázquez did the opposite. He gave Mari Barbola a straight, dignified gaze, looking right back at the viewer, the same respect he gave the king. Look closer at Nicolas, though. His foot is resting on the sleeping mastiff beside him, caught mid-motion, as if he's about to nudge the dog awake. A tiny, human moment of mischief, frozen inside a formal royal portrait. And barely visible in a doorway behind them, one more figure. José Nieto, the Queen's Chamberlain, frozen mid-step. Coming in, or already leaving. Velázquez never says. So we're back to the real question this painting keeps asking. What is actually on that giant canvas we can't see? Is Velázquez painting the king and queen reflected behind him? Is he painting the little princess standing in front of him? Or is he painting this exact room, the one you're looking at right now? For 370 years, nobody has settled the debate. Maybe that was always the point. Velázquez didn't paint a room full of people. He painted a question and simply never answered it. Artists have spent centuries trying to solve it. Picasso alone painted 58 different versions. Historians and philosophers still argue over that one mirror. None of them agree. Here's the last secret, and it changes everything you just watched. This painting wasn't even called Las Meninas, by the man who painted it. Velázquez never gave it that name. For nearly 200 years, it was simply called The Family. The title you know it by was invented by someone else centuries later. The king is gone. Velázquez is gone. Everyone inside this room is gone. Yet somehow, every new visitor still takes their place. The painting never changed. Only the people standing in front of it did. The painting watched. It still watches. It never stopped. Most people look at paintings. Very few actually see them. This is inside the artwork.